Good morning, I'm Lila Lazarus. Live pictures from Baghdad as liberated Iraqis celebrate their first full day of freedom from the reign of Saddam Hussein. But there is still danger in the area for American troops. Celebration in Dearborn for those with families who live under Saddam's regime. Their gratitude to American troops overwhelming. Plus, the FBI is investigating a local city councilwoman. And low-carb leader Dr. Atkins hospitalized. We're going to tell you why. We'll have weather and traffic on the 4s next on Local First News.
Live from Detroit's news leader, this is Local First News Today. Target Iraq.
Live pictures from Baghdad. Families celebrating their first full day of freedom from Saddam Hussein's regime. But the danger is not over for American troops, still engaged in firefights across the city.
Celebration on the streets of Dearborn as local Iraqi Americans finally believe their families in Baghdad are safe. Good morning. It's Thursday, April 11th. April 10th, isn't it? It's April 10th.
10th, I think.
That's the 11th. That's the 10th. I'm pretty
10.
convinced. I'm Lila Lazarus.
And I'm Steve Garagiola. We've seen some incredible images from Baghdad. Iraqis hugging American soldiers, women holding babies, up to soldiers on tanks for them to kiss. But there is still much danger for U.S. troops in the area. Overnight, Marines engaged in fierce battles. Conan Nolan has the latest from Kuwait City.
Late word is that the city of Kirkuk in northern Iraq has just now fallen. That apparently confirmed by U.S. Central Command. That is a key strategic target for U.S.-led coalition forces and the Kurdish militia in the north, trying to defeat whatever remains of the Iraqi army. In the meantime, on the morning after Liberation Day in Baghdad, it's still a tale of two cities. One city, people are slowly coming out once again to savor their freedom. Elsewhere, there is still fighting taking place. Many of the militia fighters, we are told, from other Arab countries, simply here to fight against the United States and refusing defeat. Iraq's Kurdish population in the north still celebrating through the night, chanting slogans vilifying Saddam Hussein, whose regime has now been overthrown. Although there are still plenty who have yet to get the word. U.S. Special Operations Forces and Kurdish fighters now fighting for control of cities such as Mosul and Tikrit, still fiercely loyal to Saddam's Ba'ath Party. Coalition warplanes flew over 500 sorties overnight, aiming at holdout resistance in parts of Baghdad as well. There were reports of several firefights there. The crews on the carrier Constellation know the war is not over.
We still need to stay focused on the mission at hand.
That mission includes central Iraq as well, in the town of Hula, where the 101st Airborne Division has found huge supplies of weapons and continued to face resistance from Saddam's militia.
There was a girls' school today that had fighting positions all around it.
But peace is also breaking out. In the secure sections of Baghdad, more people have returned to the street this morning, some offering flowers to U.S. soldiers and Marines. And there are more statues to take down, like the one yesterday, the first of many symbols of a former dictator whose iron fist has now been pried loose. And there are all sorts of rumors this morning about Saddam still being alive and still being somewhere in Baghdad. In fact, at this hour, we understand U.S. Marines are checking a mosque, which was heavily defended by Iraqi militia fighters during a firefight overnight. They even had artillery. There was suspicions he may have been there. And they're taking a look at anything that looks like a convoy of cars leaving Baghdad. They want to make sure the former Iraqi dictator does not escape. I'm Conan Nolan, reporting live from Kuwait. Now back to you.
All right, thank you, Conan. Millions of people around the world watched the memorable scenes of Baghdad's liberation.
In Dearborn, more than 1,000 Iraqi Americans filled the streets celebrating the end of the Iraqi regime.
He's Bush still leader as all the time, forever. Bush still president for us.
Party lasted well into the night as Iraqi immigrants fortunate enough to get out of Iraq years ago celebrated their homeland's liberation. Young and old danced in the streets, honked horns. One local Iraqi cleric gave us his thoughts on the fate of Saddam's fallen regime.
He is dead in the minds of the Iraqis, he is dead in the hearts of the Iraqis, and politically dead, socially dead, militarily dead.
Even a group of local servicemen came to Dearborn to show support and join the celebration. They were welcomed with open arms.
Now, weather and traffic on the 4s.
5:05 is their time. Beautiful afternoon yesterday. Got another one for you, and as promised, going to be a little bit warmer. Outside temperatures right now in your neighborhood, we're anywhere from 33 degrees just outside our studio, as you can see right there with our time and temp clock in the lower right-hand corner. 30 at the airport. We have 20s from Pontiac to Lansing. In fact, Lansing the coldest this hour. They're at 22. But we will warm up back into the 50s when I see you at lunchtime on our way with temperatures to reach upper 50s. Not quite 60s today, but we'll see the 60s tomorrow. Great weekend ahead, and I'll also talk about the next chance of thunderstorms for next week. I mean, I got to talk about something, right? Glad to share good news this hour. Good morning, Tracy.
Morning, Eric. I'll take thunderstorms over the ice storms that we had. No problems on any of the roadways except for one, and it's a big one. It's going to be I-94 as you travel eastbound. It looks like eastbound is shut down now at Gratiot. This is all due to an overturned tanker truck carrying non-toxic foam. So police have shut it down at Gratiot. You can rejoin the freeway, we're told. At Metro Parkway, should be shut down for maybe an hour or more till they get that upright and out of your way. Most of the drivers are going to be heading westbound as you head into the city this morning, but just keep that in mind. 94 East closed at Gratiot right now due to a rollover. It is 5:05 right now. Lila, back to you.
Thanks, Tracy. Those scenes we saw of jubilation on the streets of Baghdad and Dearborn are tempered with a warning from Washington. Danger remains for coalition forces. Yesterday's events were memorable moments in the war against Iraq. The world watched images of the Saddam Hussein statue topple in downtown Baghdad. But U.S. Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld cautioned the war in Iraq is far from over.
While it's wonderful to see the faces of the Iraqi people being liberated and to feel the joy they have to feel to be free of that vicious regime, nonetheless, the task that the terrific young men and women on the ground there are performing isn't over.
The Pentagon says pockets of resistance remain in Baghdad and Saddam's regime is still in control of key northern cities.
The dangers of war all too clear to two local families. This morning, Army Private First Class Jason Meyer and Marine Private First Class Juan Garza are mourned. Both died in combat. 23-year-old Jason Meyer graduated from Howell High School in 1999. He joined the Army 2 years later. Meyer served as an Army engineer, also an artist. He drew pictures of the personnel carrier he drove in and the troops he served with. Meyer died when his personnel carrier took fire on Monday. He was a newlywed. His family says he would be proud of what has happened in Baghdad over the past 24 hours. 20-year-old Marine Juan Garza graduated from Summerfield High School in Petersburg last year. Another newlywed. He was married the day after Christmas. His wife is also in the Army. Garza died on Monday. A sniper shot him as he crossed a bridge in Baghdad. Garza's friends remember him as warm, an outgoing guy. They say he was always the life of the party.
Meanwhile, one family gets good news from the military. Their loved one is coming home. Army Specialist James Van Hoy of Marine City, James Van Hoy, is on his way back from Iraq. Van Hoy's stepmom got the call yesterday and broke the news to her husband.
Jimmy's coming home.
He is.
Be home this weekend. We'll get to see him.
Wow. Van Hoy's wife, Kristen, had twin girls just last month. Both the babies had some health problems. Family will now pack up for Fort Stewart, Georgia, where Van Hoy is based. They could be reunited as early as this weekend.
Bring those yellow ribbons.
Got to be a great weekend for them. Still to come, a teenager rescued after a terrible accident. He'd been stranded in his truck for days. We'll have his story.
Also ahead, the latest on the search for a missing local boy. See if you can help police and his family find him.
But first, the latest on the power outages and how the lack of electricity is really starting to affect local businesses. That's coming up next.